Hey, food lovers, it's that time again. Food o'clock. Today we're making the one, the only authentic Nigerian jollof rice. It's bold, it's spicy, it's packed with that Naija flavor you love. So let's enter the kitchen because this pot must bang. Alright, so let's start with the meat and chicken. That is what's going to give our jollof rice a deep and tasty flavor. Now listen, just use whatever you have at home. You can use beef, chicken, turkey, whatever you have, whatever that works. At the end of the dinner, enjoyment with the cheese, not perfection. Alright, so first you want to steam your chicken and meat. This just helps everything cook properly and helps them to stay nice and juicy. While that is going on, the next thing to do is to season it really well. You have to use whatever spices you love. I usually go for garlic, onions, seasoning cubes, curry powder, white pepper, black pepper, ginger powder, garlic powder, etc. And you have to use whatever spices you love, but honestly, use what works for you. And if you don't have chicken or beef, that's totally fine. Use whatever protein you've got. It could be turkey, goat meat, or even fish. The important thing is to make it tasty and work with what you have. So once your meat and chicken are nicely seasoned, you can go ahead and add some water, as you saw that I already did. You don't need to add too much, just enough to help it cook through and bring out all those flavors. Then what you do next is to let it simmer gently so everything gets tender and tasty. Give everything a good mix so the seasoning really gets into the meat. You want all those flavors to blend nicely before it starts cooking down. It's time to get your vegetables ready for the tomato mix. I usually go with fresh tomatoes, onions, garlic, and a mix of peppers like bell peppers, scotch bonnet, and chili peppers. You can adjust the heat depending on how spicy you like it. Just wash everything well and get them ready for blending. Now heat up your pan and add just a little bit of oil. Enough to coat the bottom, but we're roasting and we're not frying. So keep the heat low and let everything cook slowly. This process can take about 45 minutes to an hour, so you'll have to be patient and it's worth it. But hey, if you've got an oven or a microwave, you can speed things up. Those work really fast. So feel free to use whatever equipment you've got. And here is the final look. Your vegetables should be beautifully roasted with rich and smoky flavor. So the tomatoes will be soft and the peppers will have a nice char. Now that they are all set and ready for blending, the roasting really brings out the depth in the flavors. So trust me, this is going to be so delicious once it's all combined. So for the garlic, all you have to do is to pop the cloves out. They'll slide right out. You have to put like little to no effort for them to come out. That is why it is very much important to cut off the top beforehand, so that way it makes it so much easier. And now look at the paste. It should be smooth and rich with that perfect consistency. All the flavors have come together beautifully, and you can already smell how amazing it's going to be. You'll see the vibrant colors from the tomatoes and the peppers, and the garlic adds that extra depth. This is what makes the jollof rice really comes alive. Now it's time to fry the meat and chicken. Heat up enough oil in your pan to fry them properly. You want a nice sizzle when they hit the oil. Make sure it's hot enough so they get that golden crispy texture on the outside while staying juicy inside. Before you start frying, add some onions, peppers and garlic to the oil. This will infuse the oil with amazing aromas and give your meat and chicken that extra layer of flavor right from the start. Trust me, this step really makes the difference. And there you have it. Look at that beautiful golden brown color. The meat and the chicken are perfectly fried, crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside. The flavors from the onions, the peppers and garlic have really worked their magic. Okay. Now it's time for the real deal. You might have been wondering, when are you going to cook the jollof rice? So let's start. Start by frying your onions until they're nice and soft, and once they're looking good, add the tomato paste from the tin, that is the tin tomato paste, and let it fry for about 10 minutes. And this is where the magic happens. The paste will cook down and bring out that rich, deep flavor, and your kitchen will smell amazing. And this is how your tomato paste should look like: nice and rich. The onions and tomatoes will blend together like they're totally marrying each other, creating this amazing combo of flavors. So it's about letting them become one big happy family in the pan and letting them marry each other. Now let's add our roasted tomato mix and give it a good fry for about 5 minutes, and let everything come together and cook down a bit so the flavors really get to mingle. It's going to smell so good, trust me. If you notice that the mix is getting too thick, don't worry, just add a little more oil to loosen it up. What you want is you want to have a nice smooth consistency, so just adjust as needed. Now it's time to add in your seasons, so just feel free to add your favorite spices. As I've said earlier in the video, you can add whatsoever you have or whatsoever you prefer. So for me, I use seasoning cubes, salt, I use black pepper, white pepper, garlic powder, ginger powder, chicken seasonings, fish seasonings, and so on and so forth. So I just blend all of my seasonings and then put them all together. But most importantly, don't forget your curry. It's very much important in preparing jollof rice. Now just mix everything together so all those seasons really get in there. And I almost forgot, I also added bay leaves for extra layer of flavor. They'll add a nice aromatic touch to the whole dish. And this is how your sauce should look like. It should have this rich, flavorful and ready to go. Now it's time to add the rice and let everything come together for the perfect jollof rice dish. I have already washed my rice thoroughly. Just make sure that you rinse it a few times until that cloudy white water runs clear. Now go ahead and add your rice to the sauce and give it a good mix. Fry it for about 2 to 5 minutes, and this will help the rice to soak up all the flavors before we add any liquid inside. Next, go ahead and add just a small amount of water. You can add your stock, that is your meat stock, but just enough to cover the rice by about a centimeter. You don't need a lot. Jollof rice is the type of dish that likes too much water. So once that is in, cover the pot with foil to trap the steam. If you don't have foil like me, you can improvise. I used a clean plastic wrap and it worked just fine. Then place the pot lid on tightly and let it steam gently. That is the secret to getting the perfect jollof texture. Soft but not soggy. At this point, I'm adding some butter, a handful of sliced onions, and some fresh tomatoes. The butter just melts in and gives the rice a nice rich flavor, and the onions add a bit of sweetness, and the tomatoes bring a juicy freshness. Now just cover it up again and let everything cook down nicely. And that's it. It's done. Just look at that jollof rice. It smells so good, and trust me, it tastes even better. Everything came together so nicely. I am really proud of this one. Now let's move on to the sauce. In another pot, heat up a little oil and fry some onions for about 5 minutes until they're nice and soft. Then add the tomato paste from the tin and fry that for another 5 minutes. Once it's all cooked down, add the remaining tomato mix that we did earlier, and this is how you're going to have like different flavors all coming together. Now add in your favorite spices and just stir everything up and let everything just blend in together. And then just leave it to cook for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to add our protein. Now let's add the chicken and the meat to the sauce. Give it a good mix, and then we're going to leave them to steam for about 2 minutes. And yay, we're done. And your jollof is ready to be served. And just like that, a Nigerian jollof rice is ready. Smoky, spicy, and full of different flavors. I wish you could taste it through the screen. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up subscribe to Food O'Clock, and don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know how your own jollof rice turns out or what you want me to cook next. See you in the next one, and remember, it's always Food O'Clock somewhere.